Lessons I learned from 18 years of life. Since I'm almost turning 19 and I lived 18 years of my life, there's many things I learned, life lessons to mistakes to accomplishments and everything in between. And it has made me the person I am today. So today I'm going over the top lessons I learned from my 18 years of life. Okay, my first lesson I learned from 18 years of life is actually not too short. Life is not as short as we make it out to be. You know, everyone says life is short, but in my opinion, I think it's actually not short. And it really depends on this one key factor, which is how much you do in the time given, right? Like years ago, centuries ago, like life expectancy was like 60 years old, way less than now. But now it's like 80 years plus, right? So one, we got way more time, and it's just really how much you do each year that passes. And I realized these last couple years, just me doing more year by year and each year, like this year I have done way more, experienced way more than any other year that I lived. So automatically this year has just been filled with so much things and memories that I will not trade for anything. And just all the invaluable stuff that I've learned from it, and it has made me the person I am today. So with that being said, I think it's not about how much time you're given in your lifetime, but it's about what you do in the time given. And what that means is just do more, you know, go out and experience new stuff every day. Like if that's little as talk to another person each day, like that experience alone, that memory alone, you know, looking back at 1 year, you're gonna be like, I learned so much. This year has been so much, like things that went on, so eventful. And you realize, you know, you can really utilize so much of your life if you actually go out and experience things instead of, you know, never going out and doing anything new. Just always experiencing new things will actually make your life very eventful, meaningful, and not short, because we can definitely fill it up. Number two, everything is perspective. You know, for my 18 years of life, I realized that everything that good that happened, everything bad that happened, or everything great that happened, or even anything that was terrible, everything was perspective. You know, whenever I was experiencing something terrible in my life, it was because of perspective. Everything that I was happy for in life is because of perspective. Looking back in my life, I could have easily switched the narrative and looked at it in a different way just through perspective. If I change my perspective on something, I can turn a negative into a positive. And that's with life. Like literally everything, how you perceive things, how you react to things is because of your perspective on it. You know, if two people are in a relationship and they have a disagreement, it's because they're not having the same perspective. They have two different perspectives and it is not aligning. So that's why they have like an argument or a disagreement. So I realized in life, the one thing to like be happy and just not be in such a negative like feeling is change your perspective or form it into a positive perspective. So, you know, anytime something bad will happen in my life, I learned that I can easily make it a positive by changing my perspective. And one example, I had a friend and I remember his night was going very like bad, and he was stranded. He didn't know how to get home, you know, and he was trying to call Uber, he was trying to call Lyft, and he was waiting for an hour. There was no one out. It was really late. And then eventually, you know, his phone's on 3%. Didn't know he was going to be stranded forever. Didn't know what was going to happen. And eventually, his, you know, some Lyft picked him up and he was able to go home. Once he got home, you know, his perspective changed. You know, he turn his perspective into a positive perspective, because instead of looking at the bad that happened that day, he looked at the positive, like, he made it home. At least, he's privileged enough to be able to order a lift, privileged enough to actually get picked up, go home, have a home to go to. And it was just like he changed the narrative and looked at the positive instead of the negative. So everything is perspective in life, and that's what I'm gonna live by for the rest of my life. Number 3, taking everything as a lesson is beneficial. And what this means is, in life, everything we go through, there's always a lesson being learned. Not even the negative things that happen to us, but also like when we're going through something good, positive, like there's lessons that can be learned in that too. Whenever we're winning in life, whenever we're receiving gifts, it's like there's a lesson in that. The lesson could be, just be grateful, because one moment you can have everything, one moment you can lose everything. So, and looking at the negative side, like there's always a lesson learned when there's like a bad thing happening. Instead of taking it as a loss, you take it as a lesson and just get better next time. But even positive things, whenever you're winning, just realize that you got to be humble, because you have everything, and then next thing you know, you can lose everything. And just knowing that, leads to you wanting to be grateful. You have everything and you feel like you're on top of the world. Just keep working, because everything can be took and like in a snap. And it really just depends on. It doesn't depend on you. It depends on the universe, really. Taking everything as a lesson is just, if you're not learning from your life to get better in the future, then like you're gonna stay stagnant, and you're gonna have to take all these lessons and like eventually share it to your kid, share it to people passed down from you, and like you just want to share that knowledge, and that's really important. Take everything you do as a lesson. Every day there's a lesson to be learned, and I'm never gonna stop learning. Number 4, something I learned from 18 years of life is your friends will only stay your friends if you make the effort to after high school, or just after elementary school, middle school, and high school. Like, if you don't make the effort to keep the friends around you that you had in high school, then they're not gonna be your friends, or at least close friends at all, if you don't make the effort to hang out, make the effort to check up on them. And like college is like a place of finding new friends, and you only keep old friends if you make the effort to. And that's what life too. Like, your friendships and bonds will not continue to grow if you don't put effort into them. Like, if you want a relationship to grow, you foster it, you take care of it, you check up on them daily, right? Same thing goes with friends. If you want a friendship to grow, you have to put effort into it, especially after high school, because once I left high school, I lost so many friends. And it's not even because I don't like them, they don't like me. It's just because of a lack of effort in trying to keep the friendship strong. It's, kind of interesting to see how, like, after high school, I lost so many friends because they didn't really make the effort, and I guess I didn't either. And it just shows like we wasn't as strong as a friendship, that we thought it was. So the people that actually make the effort is the ones that are actually your true friends, and keep them around, because in life, the people that make the effort is the ones that are gonna stay in your life. And last but not least, I think everything in life passes. With every emotion, with every event that happens in your life, everything passes. If you're feeling happy in the moment, it's gonna pass. If you're feeling sad in the moment, it's gonna pass. Because your life is like a roller coaster. It goes up and down no matter how we want it to go. There's always gonna be obstacles, and there's always gonna be good things that come into your life as long as you're working towards it. And just a good example is just like you have everything in life, but everything gets taken away. It's just everything is very malleable. Like, nothing is always straightforward in life. 18 years of life taught me that no matter how I'm feeling, it's gonna get better, or it's gonna at least change from time to time. Like, my worst times in my life, it was bad, but look where I am now. Like, I'm in a way better position, and especially after I learned all that, now when I go through a tragic event or just something, I know 3 months down the line or 6 months down the line, I'm barely gonna be thinking about this. I'm gonna be a new person, grown into a new man, and everything is with time. Like, everything heals with time, and it's just it just makes sense, because if I know that this feeling will pass, I'm not gonna trip about it in the moment. Like, even though I can get sad and mad in the moment, like, I know 3 months down the line, a year from now, my life is gonna be in a different position. I'm gonna be doing different stuff, worried about different stuff. So that's why, like, I don't overreact to things that don't serve my time, because I know it's gonna pass. And even when I'm in my happiest moments, like, that's why I know eventually it's gonna pass. I'm not gonna feel as this happy, as high, you know, in the next like hour, or because like that's the climax. So I just don't take it for granted. I cherish those moments because I know it's gonna pass. But life is like a roller coaster, and you just gotta live those highs. Cherish those highs, but also know that when you're in your lows, it's gonna pass and you're gonna go back up. So it's a cycle. Don't overreact, and just take action to better your life every day, single day. And that's really all the main lessons I learned after 18 years of life. If you guys want me to make a part 2 or anything, leave in the comments below. I think this video is very special, so you make sure you like and subscribe. Without further ado, I will catch y'all on the next one. Thank you for watching.